And that's my beautiful production guru in the back there, Kristen. And I can't believe we got these really bright lights, and I need like sunglasses. It's so bright now, so much light. And new mics, and there's the camera. It's nuts. It's just nuts. So are the two phone ones?
Oh yeah, love them. You them everywhere.
You can see that on there? Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Hey, so I got inspired by my son's working, which is really kind of common because he's 4.5, and he has an amazing ability to create without fear, hashtag, and he says it even now, and it's pretty cool. And occasionally he does techniques that I think, oh, that's terrible, that's completely wrong, you shouldn't be doing it that way. Right, preconceived traditionally, just flying here now too, of course. Anyway, so what he did is he works with this tempera paint, and it's Sargent Art tempera paint, and it has a lot of great colors. It doesn't have a lot of pigmentation in it, but it's still kind of fun to do. And I honestly don't know what the light fastness is on this, and I'm not sure it's a big deal for most of this. But I try not to have him be using the acrylics or some of the other paints that we use because they're maybe not as kid-friendly at that age. But he's done this work that's created a crackle on it. So building layers up, and different thickness, really thickness. The thicker it is, the bigger the cracks. The thinner it is, the smaller the cracks. They're just really neat ideas. This one here, he was making a monster. It's still drying. So this big black one here and this yellow one are still drying. So I wanted to do something with this kind of concept in mind. I will say that the few times I've seen this, you have to actually go in and use a fixative and build up the layers, like the Degas from SpectraFix, and build up layers to secure the paint, because sometimes the little flakes will want to come off. And then use the final fix on the top of it, or even SpectraFix's glass works pretty well too. That's kind of what I like to do with his work too. I've been saving a lot of pieces. We did a lot with Cobra watercolor, water mixable oils rather, the last couple of shows. So I thought I would do something really kid oriented. We've got some various tempera sticks, or some people call them gouache too. Tempera and gouache are very kind of similar. It's weird because she's like singing in the background. I don't even know, can they?
Yeah, they can hear it.
I don't know if that's good or not. Is that confusing?
I don't think so.
So, there's nothing in that one. I like these really big sticks here. So what I did is I laid down. So I'm kind of out of it today. It's weird.
We're both kind of out of it. I think, you know what, we've got like summer burnout going on, I think. A little bit of summer burnout.
So this is that tempera paint stick. There's a number of brands out there. I like the Brunzel when I can get them. And they've got some really nice, they call them gouache sticks. And these are called tempera paint sticks from Sargent Art. But you can kind of get them, you use the brand you like, but I definitely like the Royal Talons group for their various paints. They make the Cobra, and they also do things with the Brunzel and Sakura and a bunch of the other brands that are just awesome. So I'm just blocking in some areas. There's like an adhesive within this tempera paint, and that reacts with the paint on top of it quite a bit too. So as I put the Sargent Art on the top of it, it will create some interesting effects. And it takes some time to do this. So today, if you have questions, hit me with it.
Yeah, we're a little bit laid back today. Not as much energy in here from us. So it's a good day to ask the questions that we usually yak over you, though.
Yes. I never yak over anybody, do I?
Oh, thanks for sharing our live. I really appreciate that. It really helps us a lot when it happens.
So I like the metallic. And if you notice the inspiration pieces from my son.
Oh, bad question.
Yeah.
What color is that brown base?
Oh, this is a gold. So this is a metallic gold. And I should have put it on there sooner, but I frankly didn't know what I was going to do for the show until about 20 minutes before the show. It was one of those days. So this is that gold. It's a gold metallic, and it's actually kind of fun. They're fun. They have two different colors of metallic paints. in the gold series. And then this is going to be, I'll do a little more here. And like I said, the tempera paint sticks have a different kind of a surface when they're finished. And so they create a different effect when one paint goes over the top of it. In fact, I can't take my acrylic markers when this dries and go over it because whatever's in that, and I'm sure it's proprietary, I don't really know, but it'll clog the nibs on my acrylic markers. So that's something to keep in mind. What I have to do, if I want to go back over with the acrylic markers, which is part of that finishing technique we've talked about, is I have to spray that with a fixative, and that then allows me to use the markers over the top of it. So what else can I throw on in here? Let's do another. Well, let's just throw some big paint on there too. Into neon stuff a lot lately, in case nobody noticed. So I'm just going to be really liberal with it.
And we are now selling those neon acrylic paints on the website. Yeah.
So that's the Amsterdam line that we really, really, really like.
Oh, look at that. That is so cool looking at.
So that is definitely, like I said, it's a thin pigmentation with this stuff, but I still like it quite a bit. Oh, so anybody that follows us, you see we moved?
We moved our studio around.
Within the studio, we moved. So we're trying to upgrade the soundstage, the mini soundstage, and still make it so we can kind of leave lights up and things. So we're getting cabinetry back in here that'll display a lot of the art supplies we use. This will be painted, and everything is starting to kind of come together. But it also opened up the studio, and if you check out, was it yesterday's?
Yes, yeah, yesterday's.
Yesterday's, I think we did a little walkabout.
Art talk.
To show people. Art talk. That's right. So that was kind of fun to just go through and show people what we were up to. And it's so different. I don't know where anything is.
Here, I'm in the back of.
I can't find anything in here yet.
We've got all this equipment going on.
And I don't know where my stuff is.
No, a little lost.
So just lightly pulling it over and building up some surfaces. And as I keep building and building, it will create, sometimes it'll go mud because, this is not a pure pigmentation, this stuff. These are not pure pigmentations. Oh, somebody's going to ask it, but I'm going to say it. This is on a foam core, a really thick foam core that I have to have around.
There we go.
And I used to work on this quite a bit, didn't I?
Yeah, there was a stretch of time where you were really working a lot in foam core board.
It was kind of fun.
Maybe it's a little bit of a better view for you guys.
But like I said, this is relatively safe as far as we know. We're actually having some of this stuff tested soon, just to make sure, because art supplies can be not the best for the kiddos sometimes, some of them, not all of them. So I would like to know, because my son is in here quite often. He's got his own workstation over there now, which he didn't have before, and we're going to get that a little bit organized for him too. I also today have found some more of the leaf, metallic leaf. So we're going to throw this on here.
I've got a question. Are you gessoing the foam core board before using? No. That is an emphatic no.
No, I'm really not. But this fly is very persistent back here. There's going to have to be a reckoning soon.
Yeah, it's over here now, too.
No, I'm not. I am definitely not. I probably should, but I don't.
Well, and like today, this is alive, so these paintings generally don't, yeah.
So, yeah, we're technique demonstrating a lot of times here, and so it doesn't necessarily get to be a really Well, I shouldn't say that. A lot of the pieces that we make in these lives actually turn out really nice. I think. So the translucent nature of this paint is also one of the reasons I like it, because you can build the layers up. And now you see some cell action happening too, which is also pretty cool. So people that are interested in that poured painting type of technique, this works for that too. You can see this just is really gnarly, cool, like cosmos happening right here. And the thicker we make this, the more interesting this is going to be when it sets up. So the other thing is no brush today. It's a no brush Saturday. Now Hugo's approach is much more, aggressive with the paint flinging.
Yes, it is.
So I'm a little bit more controlled today, just because I am. Now you still can block things out using the charcoal. I still like to wear a glove with that. You can do soft pastels, and you can actually start to block out some areas and create some structure within it. And just a reminder, this is basically considered a kid's paint, right? But look at how fun this is.
Yeah, it's a great way to experiment without really risking the bank.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it, really good art supplies are really expensive. And they're worth it because they have such high pigmentation. There's good mixing colors. You can mix them together and get some very pure colors. And I can definitely tell the difference. Like on the Cobra oil paints, the water mixable ones that we've been playing with in the last few episodes, it's great. And I can tell the difference between the artist version and the student version. I can see it. I didn't think I would. I thought people were nuts, to be honest. So it is worth it to spend the money on really good equipment. Meaning good paints.
If you're just looking to try out a new technique, color blocking, or you want to test out, just the proportions of something, using some cheap paint to do it isn't a bad idea.
We'll say inexpensive today.
All right, inexpensive.
Well, and the truth is, there's certain effects that I can get using this particular paint, that I only discovered again by watching our son paint with it, and him playing and just playing. Otherwise, I wouldn't have come up with some of this idea of, it's like a crazing. We used to call it crazing in ceramics. Checking is another term, right?
Well, furniture painters know all about
Furniture painters. Anybody in furniture painter out there? Because you guys know, right? Furniture painters do.
I'm so excited about my apron. This apron's been missing for 8 months. I have it back.
You were pretty ecstatic about that being back here.
My Duluth Trading Co. apron is home. Yay.
Let's make this even thicker, shall we? Some yellow.
Oh, that's so pretty.
So it's almost like glazing when you're putting this stuff one over the next, and I think that's pretty neat, pretty nifty.
For those on TikTok who are rejoining, I'm sorry. For some reason, we lost connection and I had to restart it.
We lost a connection.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
My phone is limping its way into the afterworld. One thing at a time.
Yes, I am sorry to hear that, especially because how much money those cost now.
Yes.
But she uses that thing like her computer carries. I mean, just you do a lot of your editing right there on phone, don't you?
These days, yeah, it's become an incredibly important part of my production toolkit. Yeah, we use Epidemic Sound. It's licensed to use in live sessions.
Which is cool.
Yeah. So Epidemic Sound, definitely pay for the whole year up front. It's like 60% off.
It's a better deal.
Oh yeah, you go from $50 a month to month, or pay $218 for the whole year. I mean, it's just nuts. Stupid fly.
That fly's really
It really is,
persistent.
and I'm so bad at catching flies. So bad. It's never been a skill of mine.
And this is the black temper stick again. So you can draw right into this stuff. If you have a toothy type of surface you're working on, this is very smooth. It's the foam core, and it's very, very smooth. So it will not take this when it's really wet. You can see over here where it's drier. I can actually get that to take better.
Well, good morning, Shabana and Angela. Yeah, flies are terrible. Balance therapy. Yeah, we need to do more of that around here.
So that's pretty nifty. So now I think I'm going to go ahead and put on, weirdly enough, some flesh colored paint here. I'm going to pull this right down the middle. But remember, what I'm trying to think in terms of is building the surface up a lot and then having that checking, that crazing happening as it's drying. And so this is what I'm trying to do today, is to create that same effect that my son did. So obviously we're not going to see the complete results today, so you'll have to check back. I don't know, when can they come and check it out again?
I don't know, you tell me.
Well, if it dries enough overnight, maybe we'll show something tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's Sunday, but still, you know. I just think it's really fun to just build these layers up.
I'm sorry you ended up in the hospital. That's
Oh,
crummy.
jeez.
Vertigo. Fell down.
Oh, yeah, I heard something. She mentioned that before.
Yeah, he's a pretty cute little kid. He is inside playing kaiju and robots with the babysitter today.
Yeah. See if I can get that fly this time. Yeah, land on the paint, I dare you. I had a couple bugs one time get on some painting that I had, and they're forever stuck there now.
Oh yeah, didn't we shellac them in after they just got stuck?
They were so stuck in the acrylic, you could see its little tracks, like a little beetle going across and then where it was like done, it couldn't do it anymore. Kind of felt a little bad, but at the same time, it looks cool. So just building more and more layers up as we're going here. I'm just working with a palette knife today too. This is the other really cool thing. I'm not even cleaning this most of the time. This is going to be, I think it's going to be really, really cool when it's done, I think. Since it was taught to me by my 4.5-year-old. They use so much paint.
Oh, the 4-year-olds and stuff, yeah.
Kids did this summer. But I mean, that's still pretty nice looking. I mean, you look at that, that's cool, right? Oh, I ran out of room. And it clearly reminds me too of that one painter whose name I always forget when I'm on.
Oh yeah,
When I'm on camera, I always forget.
giant squeegee guy.
Yeah. So, somebody help me out with it. I don't know why I run into this every single time we do the live, and I can't remember his name.
Maybe it's like saying Beetlejuice.
Yeah, this is kind of like I used to do, right? But it's different because I'm actually taking the kids' based paint, basically, Sargent art.
Yeah.
And they have neon colors, what they call neon, and it's tempera paint, but it does some really neat things. One of the things I like about it is it actually dries flat. pretty much flat. If you look at one that's drying, this is back here, that white, and you can see the black. It's pretty flat. And I like that too. I think it actually can be elevated. Kids' materials, whatever material you have, and quite a while ago, Kristen, we used to say, just go to your junk drawer and grab some stuff.
Oh yeah.
The point is I almost got it then, or ate it. Or this is a professional show, I can tell.
Hi everybody joining us over on TikTok and on
Let's see.
Instagram. Good to see everybody today. Oh, fly guy, can you come here and kill the fly?
Yeah.
Any chance?
That's funny. Nice. All right, so one of the things he does is just huge amounts of paint on it too. And it pains me because I like what it looks like right now. But to get the effect that he was doing, we're going to have to get a little crazy. So here we go.
Ah!
Right?
Right.
I mean, that was a nice painting, but now the next thing he'll do is he'll kind of start moving it around a little bit. You can see we're still getting some really nice some nice effects, even doing it like this. I think it looks just really beautiful. And there's some of those cells that are created. Check that out. You see that?
No, we can't see that. It's not.
It's not showing up.
I'm afraid to get close to you right now, lest I get whacked with paint.
Okay, stay tuned too. So we're doing 3-minute shorts, right?
Yep.
We're calling them quick tips. And we're doing that now on several platforms, I think, right?
Yeah, it starts next week once I've had time to edit them.
And those we did a couple simple ones before.
I might have to redo those. The other camera did not record.
Okay, so one of the things I'd like to point out too is you can scrape through. Notice how I scraped through the top layers and I ended up with some neat effects underneath. So the pigment from the previous layers has worked its way down into the porosity of whatever surface you're using. And when you scrape that surface down, then you get some more effects. I think that's really neat. I just love painting. Just when you think you've done and seen all of it, something new comes up, you find a new technique, and you should just go for it.
Let me see if I can bring it in for a clearer view of the ceiling.
There you go. See, now we brought some of the background surfaces out. I'm not sure what to do with this part yet. I like the blue mixed with the gold kind of peeking through right there. And I hate to kind of lose that. And I'm tempted to just let that wavy line remain and see what it does when it dries. And again, we're going for that crackle technique that my son has taught me. So this is, again, kind of the thing we're looking for. I'm trying to enhance it and make it even more, in this case here. And I'm really liking what's happening with this. I'm tempted to just leave this right now. And because I like it and I don't want it to go away. So we're going to slide that over there. And we've barely even begun today, haven't we? Should we try a different one?
Sure.
I think I'm going to go over this thing. This is one that we a group of us did here, had fun playing with. So now this has just some different stuff on it. I don't even know what the paints are on this. And I'm just going to go ahead and put my excess paint on this. I'm going to take a white base. And let's take some of the gold. And then we're going to take some purple. Let's get crazy with purple. And I'm going to get a bigger squeegee.
A bigger squeegee. But even a squeegee, what would you call that? It's not a squeegee.
It's actually for paint. So what am I trying to say? I don't know. Oh, it's like a paint guide. So if you pull it against something, you paint against it.
Oh, like for house painting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's try this. This one's almost done. Let's put this in there. Let's just throw the kitchen sink in today. I'm just going to use that leaf too, you know. I forgot about that till just a second. Just pull this gently down. Cool, huh?
Very. Lots of fun. Shake it off. Shake it off.
Shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. Trying to get the paint to go down a little bit more on there. Pull it the other way now. Super cool.
It's funny how quiet the YouTube and Facebook and Twitch watchers always are.
Wow, look at that, instant painting.
Quick, make a bunch of prints and sell it at Target.
There you go, look at that. I might have to paint I knew I was going to end up doing that with the foam core below it too. I've forgotten I had the stash of this foam core. Yeah, so one of the things you're not seeing, and this is what we'll do tomorrow, is we'll do a little live or pre-recorded or something, right? And you'll get in close.
Yeah, we're gonna use a 2-camera system.
And then we can all see what it looks like, right? There we go. That's kind of fun too, isn't it? So I'm going to leave it really thick and we're going to see what it does tomorrow. I think it could be very interesting. Right?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, she says. All right, so I may have to move this one. I have no place to move it. Master, I don't think you thought this through very clearly. I'll pile these up. Stick it behind me. Like I said, we're still getting used to the new studio.
Well, it's not new, it's just reorganized.
The new reorganized studio, yeah. I mean, it's all new because I don't know where anything is. I have no idea where anything is in this place. Let's move this really fun piece around to the back. I'm hoping the thicker foam core, Kristen, allows it to keep its strength and doesn't actually, what am I trying to say? Curl up too much. That is one of the tendencies with this stuff, is you can get it to curl up. I haven't done the what's that called?
Honestly, on the foam core, I always wonder if these are gonna flake off later too. I'm not
No.
sure it's a really great surface, to be honest with everybody right now.
I don't think it is. We've had good luck with them. There's several. And there is foam core that is specifically for illustrative purposes.
Okay.
So I don't know what one this is, honestly. I just grabbed it out of the
Yeah. Do you hate cleaning the tools at the end of the day? Let me answer that. He doesn't. And they're smelly.
the brushes get a little bit.
Yeah, the
rancid
brushes get
sometimes.
pretty rancid occasionally.
But I also try to use as much as I can. So about once a week, usually I have to do my brushes. They reside in the meantime in a bowl of water.
Yeah.
There's some behind me actually.
Now we moved into a house with a dog wash. We do not have a dog, no plans to get a dog, but we left it in to wash paint products and children.
Children, mostly the kids.
Mostly the kids.
Yeah, mostly the kids get washed before. I think I'm gonna combine a little bit of try to save some paint for my son. All right, so yeah, I might throw some acrylic on here today too.
Got it. Fly.
He's got you. Fly has got you.
It's driving me nuts. All right, I just gotta let it go.
Okay. Do something with this. Do another pole right here. That's just super cool. Nobody knew the guy that
No, nobody answered the
really
question.
answered the question. I can't remember it. It's driving me nuts.
We'll
though.
find it figured out later. I'll turn it into a
I
story.
can see him. He's like 80.
Yeah, I mean, he's
He's
not
like 80 now.
a spring chicken anymore.
He started this whole thing using big squeegees and such. Wow. Let me rephrase it. He's the one that actually became famous. So a lot of times techniques that we use, certain artists that become very famous, right? They don't necessarily they didn't necessarily invent it, but they certainly made it the most popular. If that makes any sense. Does that make sense?
Sure.
I want to do blue in that, I think. Should we do the purple again? Try to find the one that kids don't ever use.
Oh, they'll eventually use it to make ice paint.
Yeah, he will. He has some in there. It's another technique my son came up with. Okay, let's try this again. It's just so satisfying doing this technique. I haven't done it in a while. You know, taking the,
Yeah. The thick paint and pulling it down.
probably because it got to be so expensive with the acrylics.
It is very expensive. No, we're using tempera paints today.
Very inexpensive, very affordable Sargent Art tempera paint. What they might call kid safe.
Yes.
Or maybe it's kid safer. Don't actually know what it would be.
Thank you for the likes, everybody, over on TikTok. Truly appreciate it.
Okay, let's get some more black on there. 'Cause that's the mood I'm in. No, I'm kidding. We are waiting for so many things to come up right now. It's a little bit ridiculous. So if you're sensing some tension through the camera, It is because we're literally waiting for some pretty big things to happen. It's very exciting. We're looking forward to actually knowing the answers.
Got a question?
Yeah.
Why are there some artists on social media that hate when people ask them what they're using? I've seen that so many times. Is it rude to ask?
That's a good question. It's only rude if that person makes it rude to do it. I think there's nothing wrong with asking those questions. I mean, our show is all about sharing. And I had somebody from France one time scold me
Oh, they got real upset with us.
and said, why are you giving away all these secrets to people? He was another artist and he was really upset about it.
But we've always been against gatekeeping.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's about sharing. Just because I tell you how I do this doesn't mean you're going to go do it. It doesn't mean it's going to look like mine either, for that matter. Because not everybody's painting technique is going to look the same as mine. It just isn't. I think it's good to ask the questions. What's the worst that happen? They complain about it,
Yeah, Margaret, media is media. Yeah, she's right.
Media is media.
You're so very welcome. We love to do this and share with you guys.
Well, and today I really wanted to illustrate the fact that it doesn't necessarily take super expensive stuff to start creating. Without a doubt, the expensive art material is worth it because the pigmentation is so high, the light fastness is so good, and you can look all these things up and you hear it. And those are important things to consider. But if you have a limited budget, just start doing something. I said this a couple times. Creatives got to create. We got to create.
Yeah.
We just doors or scrap recycling something. Just grab it and go. And I think that too often the product we use, it becomes what would be sacrosanct. So if you don't have exactly what you normally use, you don't make anything.
And I think that's like a form of head trash too, getting in the way of
For sure.
moving forward. Because if it's not exactly what I want, then I can't do it. Well,
it is head trash.
is that just your brain making up a reason to not do something?
I completely agree with you, Kristen. I think that is definitely a big head trash thing going on.
Guys, I'm sorry about the connection issue on TikTok.
Oh,
If it
we're
dies
still
again,
having fun?
hop over to Instagram or YouTube. We're still there. My phone is having problems.
Is it giving grief again today, my love?
Oh, it's worse than that. It's like it can't focus. It keeps dropping signal.
What?
Yeah, it's white balance keeps changing.
What is going on? I wonder if it's your phone or if it's
Your
something.
phone's fine. It's mine.
Does it have to do with the TikTok problem, or is it art?
No, it's a functional camera problem, and it keeps dropping the signal. And I've been having that problem for a while. Anybody have any questions this morning?
That looks like fun right there. I love doing this. Let's do one more odd thing with this.
Just one more thing.
Just one more odd thing. Let's take this, pull it right down the middle. That's a little thicker than some of them. It's weird.
How bad does it smell of talc powder?
This?
The one that's thick.
Oh, I don't think so. No, it's really still a little subtle. There's a lot of different tempera paints out there. It has a talky smell to it. I don't know if they're using talc in it, but as we all know, that is questionable to have in things that are, that are interacting with us as humans. So I would definitely, because of our allergy issues, all of us in the family, we tend to avoid the stuff that has a lot of talc in it. Let's do this right here, maybe. Actually, no, I'll do it over here. Dramatic music for the dramatic.
Actually, a good playlist for a change.
So I'm using my whole body to draw the paint. That way I can try and get it pretty straight, unless I, did the blade work here where I scrape down through it. And then, so after this dries, we'll see what it does, and then we can enhance this with pencils. We can come in with markers, crayons, whatever you happen to have in your drawer, and you can work some further details in it and give it a little bit more depth. Okay, there's a certain level of depth that you might want to add to your pieces, and by adding layers, by adding details, by hiding little things in there too for people, I think that's a lot of fun personally. I like that. I like to discover something in the art that I'm looking at. Don't you, Kristen? I mean,
Yeah, I do.
I like to discover it. Beautiful thing right there. Well, how are we doing?
Oh, yeah, about 42 minutes.
Yeah, so I'm good with that.
All right.
If we had ads, it would have been a whole hour show. In any case, I'll probably paint, because every time the cameras go off, I paint afterwards too. Again, this is David Austin with davidaustingallery.com. And by the way, some of my favorite art supplies are actually on our website now. And it's a little bit under MSRP. It's from Royal Talons at this time as our primary source. And you can check that out. There's a link right there, davidaustingallery.com. And our outdoor clothing line that Kristen created, inspired by the paintings, is at muddypaw.net. Muddypaw.net. And a few of the aprons are back. We're still trying to get aprons with pockets in, so that we don't know when that'll happen. But in the meantime, you can get your very own artist camouflage right here. So we don't have the Sergeant Art on there, but you can go to Michael's, for example, and you can pick it up at Michael's. That's one of our favorite big stores for getting art supplies when it's in town. Otherwise, I wish you all happy creating this week. Stay in touch. Please let us know what you're up to. I always love to see paintings you guys are doing. And like, share, and all that other stuff. Thank you. Anything else, Kristen? Did we miss anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend. I sure loved having you here. See you. Bye-bye.